So where I left off, she now has a room in our basement, and the sun has been put out. Well, I'm not really paying. She got the room, sun out there, not really tripping off of. But as I say, we had a vehicle, and they ran the streets all day, every day in this vehicle, and putting it on the strength like they would be in the alleys collecting cans and different things, and they would go to the recycling place and they would catch them in, but they were supposed to be doing all of this to cover their cigarette smoking and his beer habit and their drinking and everything. So that's how they pay for all of their things. And it was really no problem, but like I say, I wasn't really trying to worry about. I had other things to worry about, let alone worried about what they had going on. And so now, mind you, now he done made this his chick. Now he's sleeping with the girl, but his son, he didn't put the girl on his son too. They had the girl do his son up. And she thinks she is so hot stuff. But that's neither here nor there. But so the girl the girl will leave. Like I said, so we keep going, and this one particular day, I just had enough of study asking and worried about what's going on. Now, let me tell you the slick thing he was trying to do. He was like, oh, she like my sister and stuff, and I know you have trouble taking care of bills and everything, and go ahead and give her all your information, like give her your social and your accent. Nigga, is you crazy? I don't care how disabled I am. My body don't work, but my brain works damn good. So no, never that. No. I wouldn't fall into that one. So mind you, he's saying she's there, and he studied trying to push me off on her. Like, he tried to do things that, like, they think that they get me drunk, and if I get drunk, I'm going to sleep, and then they go in the basement, and they go in the basement fucking. So I mean, they really thought, I was seeing the signs of things, but like my mom always say, don't say nothing until you can actually put your finger on everything and have all your receipts. So, as I say, this one particular day, I finally had enough, and I told number two that, that's the way I refer to my kids. We got one, 2, and 3. But one is named Taz. So 2, he and I, we put all the girls' clothes out the house. Nothing messy, nothing. Like I said, I had enough, so I finally put her stuff out the house. And so when they came back to the house, she saw that all her things was out the house. And she had a little attitude and all of it. So she just put the stuff right back in the room. And they left again. So while they were gone, my son showed up. And like I said, he put them out. So I said, well, since this bitch won't leave my house, and he came in, I said, you know what? He was like, well, Mom, I'm just gonna hang around until I have to see about you and different stuff, and then I'm going back. I said, oh no, baby, you ain't going nowhere. I say, this is your home. You on the lease, and you have the right to be here. And that bitch ain't even on the lease. She don't have the right to be here. So if she can stay here, you can too. So that's how my son was back in the house. You do whatever the fuck you gonna do. Me and my kids is her. That's all I'm saying. So that so that day went on, and they left again. And so I told my son, I say, I'm trying to put this bitch out this house, man. and they won't leave. And, I say, she got all them leggings and clothes and shit that downstairs. Go get that shit. I got a way to get rid of this bitch. So he went and he gathered all the little, nice little leggings. That's where I was into leggings, whatever. She would always be wearing these leggings with the little shirt sections in them, and I was like, so I said, go get all that shit. And he went, he got it, he bought it outside. I said, man, shut that shit on fire. And that was like the best thing in the world I could have ever said to him, because he was ready. He went to set the stuff on fire. Now, mind you, where I'm living at this point in time is, I live on a main street that happens to have a police station right across, like 2 blocks up the street and across in front of me. So they got cameras in there and all. They can all see what's going on in my house anyway. So, but he went to set the stuff on fire, and the fire was, the smoke was too bad. So they messed around, saw that and sent the fire department. So I said, nah, put it out. And then I'm thinking hard. And I always think hard. So I told him, I said, hey, go get the barbecue grill. He went and got the barbecue grill. I said, hey, you see the lighter fluid? He found the lighter fluid. I said, man, put that shit on that grill and set that shit on fire. Oh, that was like the best thing I could have ever told him. He was like a kid in a candy store. He was like, he walking around, like, just doing. So now mind you, I told you, when they first, on the first time that they came through, when I put our clothes out, he had been running around with my American Express card. And because, like I said, I had CCW, so I had the right to carry, and everything. And I kept more than one. And, he used to run around with it like it was his. So once we did that, I guess it kind of hit his head that, hey, I'm gonna leave this here because I can get in trouble if she called the police and everything. I guess he was thinking smart, and so he called himself hiding it so that I wouldn't find it. And so that would be, they didn't have it and I didn't have it, but my son found it on the couch in between the pillows, and he brought it to me. I was like, oh, that's what's up. So at that point in time, I got myself all together, and I put my holster on my hip, and I put my little American Express card in the slot. So, and I told him, get the girl clothes, and that's when I told him set it on fire. So by the time I was to tell them that the girl's stuff is on fire, I was ready. I was good. And I was ready to go. I had my American Express card. I was sitting on the porch, on the front porch, waiting on them to come back. And so, like I said, my son had went and put her stuff on a barbecue grill, soaked it with lighter fluid, and set it on fire. And so while he was doing that, I called the husband on the phone. I said, hey, I said, Meaty. He was like, whoa, everything okay? I said, yeah, everything fine. I said, I just need you to tell your bitch her shit on fire. And before I hung the phone up good, I want to say like a minute, not even good 60 seconds later, they was pulling up in the driveway. And then so she jumps out the car and she takes off and she come running up on me like she want to hit me. And I swear I grabbed the American Express card out the holster and popped them on my lap. I'm like, if you feel froggy, bitch, jump, because you won't get it. I was going to give it all to her. And so when he seen the American Express card, he jumped in between the two of us. And I was like, I don't know what you did that for. I said, because you could get it too. And he, so he kind of diffused that look. I was like, look, you need to get your shit and get the fuck up out of my house. Period. That's all I'm saying. So, as the day goes on, it was when all this happened. It was still daylight, so it was at least 3 to 5 o'clock in the evening. And they were still, when the sun went down, they were still there. They was all in the basement in the room laughing and cracking jokes and stuff. And so I politely texted him and I said, it's 8 o'clock. It's time for her to get gone. And he runs upstairs to where I was. He was like, why you being so mean? And I politely told him, if she spends another night in my house, I'm going to put one in you and I'm going to put one in her.